comes again. Quick, easy student vegan. This is kid. Woohoo! Just any pasta will go. And we have ecological. It's oat milk. Oat milk made of oats. They have stopped using the word milk on this package. That's rather nice. Cook the pasta in water. Heat up the milk and mix it with vegan cheese. This is one of the vegan cheese. Put it in the milk and you have a wonderful pasta sauce. And this with a cat and a mouse is Ädelust taste. It is, what is it is now? It's mold. It's Roquefort cheese something taste. So easy. What kind of pasta you choose, decide how long the whole thing takes. This I think it's 11 minutes. Whatever. Have a nice Friday afternoon. And here comes the Friday music mix for 11 hours. Have a blast. Go vegan, babes.
Can't you see it's not the same old you? We're going under. We're going under. Can't you see it's not the same old you? We're going under. We're going under. Is it something I did? You only meant what's broken. Is it something I said? And I ain't not knowing. Is it something I did? You only meant what's broken. Is it something I said? And I ain't not knowing. Going under, can't you see? It's not the same old you. We're going under. We're going under, can't you see? It's not the same old you. We're going under. We're going under. Can't you see? It's not the same old you. We're going under. We're going
Vi har precis varit i Los Angeles, där bor John Borger. Han kallar sig Borges när han gör musiken. Han spelar på Gorgeous Soundtrack. Han ihop med Loud Luxury, en duo som har ena foten i Toronto och den andra i London. Elegant och snyggt var när de gör musik. Going Under hette låten. Vi ska ta oss till Nederländerna nu. Det har blivit dags för Holland Rush. En anspelning på att den här duon då också kommer från just Holland, från Rotterdam närmare bestämt. Oskar Lohmans och Bart Jaspers heter de. Det här är Lift Me Up som du ska få i fredagsmixen i musiken. Det är P3.
Keeps lifting me higher. Your love keeps lifting me up. Your love keeps lifting me higher. I'm never gonna give it up. Lift me higher, lift me up, lift me higher, lift
elevate me. You keep on lifting me higher.
You elevate me, you elevate me, you elevate me. You keep on lifting me higher. Lift me higher. Lift me up. Lift me higher. Lift me up. Lift me higher. Lift me up. Lift me higher. Lift me up.
Ja, det är ju fredag, vilket betyder att många av oss festar oss ordentligt nu under helgen. Albert Neve och Abel Ramos har också döpt sin låt till just Party. Albert och Abel som kommer från Barcelona i Spanien. Du lyssnar på fredagsmixen. Låtlist finns på webben, sverigesradio.se p3 under DJ-sättet mixar.
Your body should be partying too. Get the power on the hour from the rebel in you. The only party.
Card. Each of the words which follow ends with a plosive. Write the symbol for each plosive when you hear the word. Each will be said twice. Harp. Harp. Rogue. Rogue.
8, 8. Ride, ride. Mob, mob. Ache, ache. Ode, ode. Rip, rip. Sag, sag. Feet, feet.
Exercise 4. Repetition of words containing plosives. The following words contain several plosives. They're given in spelling and in transcription. Listen and repeat.
Potato. Topic. Petticoat. Partake. Cupboard. Decapitated. Pocket. Carpeted. Bodyguard. Tobacco. Doubted. Decode. Bigoted. About.
Exercise 5. Reading of words in transcription. When you hear the number, pronounce the word given in transcription, taking care to pronounce the plosives correctly, and putting the strongest stress on the syllable preceded by the stress bar. You will then hear the correct pronunciation, which you should repeat. 1.
Debate.
2.
Copied.
3.
Buttercup.
4.
Cuckoo.
5.
Decayed.
6.
Guarded.
7.
Dedicated.
8.
Paddock.
9.
Boutique.
10.
Appetite.
You will find these words in spelling form in the answers section. End of audio unit 4.
Audio unit 5. Revision.
Exercise 1. Vowels and diphthongs. Listen and repeat.
Barn. Burn. Fast. First. Cart. Curt. Lark. Lurk. Fade. Fed. Sail. Sell. Laid. Led. Paste. Pest. Late. Let. Life. Laugh. Tight. Tart. Pipe. Park. Hide. Hard. Spike. Spark. Toy. Tore. Coin. Corn. Boil. Ball. Boy. Bore. Foil. Fall. phone, fawn. Boat, bought. Code, cord. Stoke, stalk. Bowl, ball. Fear, fee. Beard, bead. Mere, me. Steered, steed. Peer, pea. Dead, day. Stared, stayed. Pairs, pays. Hair, hay. Mare, may. Fair, fear. Pair, peer. Stare, steer. Air, ear. Snare, sneer. Poor, paw. Sure. More, more. Door, door. Tour, tour.
Exercise 2. Triphthongs. Listen and repeat.
Player. Tire. Loyal. Mower. Shower.
Exercise 3. Transcription of words. You should now be able to recognize all the vowels, diphthongs and triphthongs of English, and all the plosives. In the next exercise, you will hear one-syllable English words composed of these sounds. Each word will be said twice. You must transcribe these words using the phonemic symbols that you've learned in the first 3 chapters. When you hear the word, write it with phonemic symbols.
Gate. Gate. Coat. Coat. Bit. Bit. Tired. Tired. Beat. Beat. Poke. Poke. Cart. Cart. Court. Court. Power. Power. Cord. Cord. Gap. Gap. Beard. Beard. Car. Car. Paid. Paid. Gut. Gut. Doubt.
Fredagsmixen i musikavdelning P3 bjuder på elegant storstadshouse signerat Toyboy och Robin. Deras senaste Celebration heter låten. Vilken Tony Blaze. Bakom namnet Toyboy och Robin så hittar vi Toy Mustafa och Drake. 2 killar som träffades för en massa år sedan. De läste på universitetet i Manchester. Vi såg att de båda gillade 90-tals R&B och UK Garage. Vi ska lämna England och nu ta oss till Nevada, till Las Vegas närmare bestämt. Justin Blau, eller Blau som han kallas. Det här är hans Is It Love?
Exercise 4. Production. The following are all English words. They are given only in phonemic transcription. When you hear the number, you should say the word. You will then hear the correct pronunciation, which you should repeat. If you want to see how these words are spelt when you finish the exercise, you will find them in the answers section. 1.
Keep.
2.
Boat.
3.
Cup.
4.
Dirt.
5.
Bike.
6.
Cab.
7.
Gate.
8.
Cared.
9.
Tired.
10.
Bird.
11.
Duck.
12.
Coat.
13.
Dog.
14.
Coward.
15.
Bake.
16.
Tide.
17.
Beard.
18.
Put.
19.
Bug.
20.
Doubt.
Exercise 5. Fortis linis discrimination. When you hear the word, say fortis if you hear it as ending with a fortis consonant, and linis if you hear it as ending with a linis consonant. You will then hear the correct answer, and the word will be said again for you to repeat.
Ride. Linus. Ride. Bat. Fortis. Bat. Bed. Linus. Bed. League. Linus. League. Feet. Fortis. Feet. Ride. Linus. Ride.
Vem är kvar på Böda
Tack.
camping när närlivset stängt för säsongen? Kom igen
Fortis.
flyktingar. Det
Tack.
roliga är över. Nu är hösten tillbaka med jobb och skola och dieter.
Rope.
Det är föräldramöten och äppelpaj. Kan väl bli kul?
Fortis.
Om du känner lite
Rope.
utryckande då, varför inte bara testa något nytt? Zumba till exempel.
Made.
Måndag till torsdag efter 16
Linus.
P3.
Made.
Vad gör det med din tid?
Beat. Fortis. Beat.
Och om den då rinner ner.
End of audio unit 5.
Jag tror att det kan vara ett torr.
Audio Unit 6. Fricatives and affricates.
Exercise 1. Repetition of words containing fricatives. Listen and repeat.
Morgonpasset
Thin.
veckan här i P3.
Offer. Laugh. Bat. Over. Leave. Thing. Method. Breath. These. Other. Breathe. Sad. Lesser. Moss. Zoo. Lazy. Lose. Show. Washing. Brush. Measure. Rouge. Hot. beehive,
Exercise 2. Identification. Write the symbol for the fricative you hear in each word. A. Initial position.
show, 5, zoo, far, though,
B. Medial position.
over, measure, icing, Asia, ahead,
C. Final position.
loathe, eve, ash, rough, oath,
Exercise. When you hear the number, pronounce the word, giving particular attention to the fricatives. You will then hear the correct pronunciation, which you should repeat. 1,
these,
2, 3,
heaven,
4,
seashore,
5,
feathers,
6,
fifth,
7,
shivers,
8,
behave,
9,
seizure,
10,
lashes,
Exercise 4. Repetition of fricative and affricate pairs. Listen and repeat. A. Initial sh and ch.
shop, chop, sheet, cheat, shoes, choose,
B. Medial sh and ch.
leashes, leeches, washing, watching, bashes, batches,
C. Final sh and ch.
mash, match, cash, catch, wish, which,
D. Medial j and j.
leisure, ledger, pleasure, pledger, lesion, legion,
Exercise 5. Discrimination between fricatives and affricates. You will hear some of the words from Exercise 4. When you hear the word, say A if you hear the word on the left, or B if you hear the word on the right. You will then hear the correct answer, and the word will be said again for you to repeat.
shop, A, shop, catch, B, catch, watching, B, watching, shoes, A, shoes, lesion, A, lesion, batches, B, batches, sheet, A, sheet, ledger, B, ledger, leeches, B, leeches, wish, A, wish, pleasure. B, pleasure. Mash. A, mash. Exercise 6. Repetition of sentences containing fricatives and affricates. Listen and repeat. 1. See the size of the fish. 2. Jeff chose 4 sausages. 3. The view is the chief feature. 4. She has 5 choices. 5. I watch the house for Susie. 6. Save this cheese for the chef.
End of audio unit 6.
Audio Unit 7. Further consonants.
Exercise 1. Repetition of words containing a velar nasal. Listen and repeat. Take care not to pronounce a plosive after the velar nasal.
Hang. Singing. Rung. Thing. Hanger. Wrong. Banging. Ring.
Exercise 2. Velar nasal with and without g. Words of one morpheme. Listen and repeat.
Finger. Anger. Banger. Hunger. Angle.
Words of two morphemes. Listen and repeat.
Singer. Hanger. Longing. Ringing. Banger.
Exercise 3. Clear and dark L. Clear L before vowels. Listen and repeat.
Lie. Loose. Leak. Low. Loud. Law.
Dark L before pause. Listen and repeat.
Fill. Bell. Kneel. Hail. Mile. Kill.
Dark L before consonants. Listen and repeat.
Help. Filth. Belt. Failed. Milk. Welsh.
Exercise 4. R. Listen and repeat, concentrating on not allowing the tongue to make contact with the roof of the mouth in pronouncing this consonant.
Hairy. Rewrite. Terrorist. Arrow. Rarer. Herring. Mirror. Roaring.
Exercise 5. Y and W. Listen and repeat.
You. Your.
If you want me to stay, if you want me to stay, and I believe you. I'll never leave if you want me to stay. We'll always be if you want me to stay. Love endlessly if you want me to stay. If you want me to stay, and I believe you.
Musikguiden i P3.
I'm a G, get money. I'm a G, but you knew this. To the beat, yo, we move it. Get money, be so foolish. All day is how we do this. I'm a G, but you knew this. To the beat, yo, we move it. Get money, be so foolish. All day is how we do this. Do this, 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 how get money. I'm a G, get money.
Study break.
2,
Sharpen.
3,
Collect.
4,
Pronounce.
5,
Copy.
6, 7,
Conquer.
8,
Record.
9,
Polish.
10,
Depend.
adjectives. 1,
Easy.
2,
Complete.
3,
Major.
4,
Alone.
5,
Below.
6,
Yellow.
7,
Early.
8,
Sublime.
9,
Heavy.
10,
Alive.
nouns. 1,
Bishop.
2,
Aspect.
3,
Affair.
4,
Carpet.
5,
Defeat.
6,
Office.
7,
Array.
8,
Patrol.
9,
Dentist.
10,
Autumn.
3-syllable words. Verbs. 1,
Entertain.
2,
Direct.
3,
Abandon.
4,
Deliver.
5,
Interrupt.
6,
Illicit.
7,
Commandeer. Imagine.
9,
Determine.
10,
Separate.
adjectives. 1,
Important.
2,
Enormous.
3, 4,
Decimal.
5, 6,
Insolent.
7,
Fantastic.
8,
Negative.
9,
Disaster.
3,
Disciple.
4,
Ambulance.
5.
Quantity.
6.
Cathedral.
7.
Holocaust.
8.
Transistor.
9.
Accident.
10.
Tomato.
End of audio unit 10.
Audio unit 11. Complex word stress.
Exercise 1. Stress carrying suffixes. When you hear the number, pronounce the word with stress on the suffix. You will then hear the correct pronunciation, which you should repeat. 1.
Entertain.
2.
Refugee.
3.
Mountaineer.
4.
Portuguese.
5. 6.
Picturesque.
When you hear the stem word, say the word with the given suffix, putting the stress on that suffix. In these of the stem.
Employ. Employee. Engine. Engineer. Sudan.
Didn't know that. What?
Audio Unit 12. Weak forms. Words occurring in their weak forms are printed in smaller type than stressed words in strong forms. For example, we can wait.
Exercise 1. Sentences for repetition. Listen and repeat.
We can wait for the bus. How do the lights work? There's some new books I must read. He took her out for a drive. The basket was full of things to eat. Why should a man earn more than a woman? You ought to have your own car. He wants to come and see us at home. Have you taken them from that box? It's true that he was late, but his car could have broken down. I shall take as much as I want. Why am I too late to see him today?
Exercise 2. Weak forms with prevocalic and preconsonantal forms. Different vowels. When you hear the number, say the phrase, using the appropriate weak form. 1.
The apple.
2.
The pear.
3.
To Edinburgh.
4.
To Leeds. Audio Unit 12. Weak form. Words occurring in their weak forms are printed in smaller type than stressed words in strong form. For example, we can wait.
Exercise 1. Sentences for repetition. Listen and repeat.
We can wait for the bus. How do the lights work? There's some new book signs reading. We took her out for a drive. The basket was full of things to eat. Why should a man earn more than a woman? You ought to have your own house. He wants to come and see us at home. Have you taken them from that box? It's true that he was late, but his car could have broken down. I shall take as much as I want. Why am I too late to see him today?
Exercise 2. Greek forms with pre-vocalic and pre-consonantal forms. Different vowels. When you hear the number, say the phrase using the appropriate Greek form. 1.
The apple.
2.
The pear.
3.
To Edinburgh.
4.
To Leeds.
5.
VegoRätt.
6.
So to they.
Linking consonant. 7.
On the earth.
8.
A foot.
9.
Around.
10.
A nose.
11.
Your uncle.
12.
Your friend.
13.
Around.
14.
Revision.
Exercise 1. Reading unfamiliar words from transcription. The following are British place names written in transcription. When you hear the number, say the word, making sure that the stress is correctly placed. You will then learn the correct pronunciation, which you should repeat. 1.
Colchester.
2. 6.
Holyhead.
7.
Hammer.
8.
Southend.
9.
Cheltenham.
10.
Inverness.
2. Transcription of unfamiliar words. The following are also place names. Each will be said twice. Write what you hear in transcription, including stress marks. 1.
Leicestershire. Leicestershire.
2.
Dunfermline. Dunfermline.
3.
Stevenage. Stevenage.
4.
Penzance. Penzance.
5.
Guildford. Guildford.
6.
Coleraine. Coleraine.
7.
Huddersfield. Huddersfield.
8.
Aylesbury. Ale.
Audio Unit 13. Revision.
Exercise 1. Reading unfamiliar words from transcription. The following are British place names written in transcription. When you hear the number, say the word, making sure that the stress is correctly placed. You will then hear the correct pronunciation which you should repeat. 1.
Colchester.
2.
Carlisle.
3.
Hereford.
4.
Scunthorpe.
5.
Glamorgan.
6.
Holyhead.
7.
Framlingham.
8.
Southend.
9.
Cheltenham.
10.
Inverness.
Exercise 2. Transcription of unfamiliar words. The following are also place names. Each will be said twice. Write what you hear in transcription, including stress marks. 1.
Leicestershire. Leicestershire.
2.
Dunfermline. Dunfermline.
3.
Stevenage. Stevenage.
4.
Penzance. Penzance.
5.
Guildford. Guildford.
6.
Coleraine. Coleraine.
7.
Huddersfield. Huddersfield.
8.
Halesowen. Halesowen.
9.
Wilmslow. Wilmslow.
10.
Barnstaple. Barnstaple.
Exercise 4. Pronunciation of stressed syllables. When you hear the number, say the sentence from the list in Exercise 3, taking care to stress the correct syllables. You will then hear the correct version, which you should repeat. 1.
James decided to type the letter himself.
2.
The plane was approaching the runway at high speed.
3.
Try to see the other person's point of view.
4.
You put your brakes on when the light turns to red.
5.
In a short time, the house was full of children.
What kind of children?
Exercise 5. Weak forms.
In a short time.
In the following sentences, those words which are not stressed must be pronounced in their weak forms. When you hear the number, say the sentence. 1.
Here's a present for your brother.
2.
These are all the pictures that are left.
3.
There could be a bit of rain at the end of the morning.
4.
A few people asked him a question.
5.
Collect your luggage before leaving the train.
End of audio unit 13.
Audio unit 14. Exercise 1. Rhythm and the foot. Listen to the following sentences. Put a stress mark on each stressed syllable, then divide the sentences into feet by placing a dotted line at each foot boundary. Example. Come to the party on Monday evening. 1. Each person in the group was trained in survival. 2. About 300 soldiers were lined up. 3. Buying a new computer is a major expense. 4. All the people who came to the wedding were from England. 5. Try to be as tactful as you can when you talk to him. Exercise 2. Elisions. Transcription. 1 elision.
A beautiful girl. A beautiful girl. A beautiful girl.
We seem to have a definite one there. We seem to have a definite one there. We seem to have a definite one there.
Could it be a stool rather than a table? Could it be a stool rather than a table? Could it be a stool rather than a table?
A fifth in. A fifth in. A fifth in.
Audio Unit 15. Tones. Audio Unit 16. The tone unit.
Exercise 1. Identifying the tonic syllable. Listen and repeat, then underline. "13.
Why don't you try?
Exercise 3. Repetition of Enough time to complete the analysis of each item. 1.
What time will they come? What time will they come?
2.
A day return to London. A day return to Bill bought it.
One.
Bill bought it. Bill bought it.
3.
Bill bought it.
4.
Bill bought it. Listen to the following sentences. Put a stress mark on each stressed syllable, then divide the sentences into feet by placing a dotted line at each foot boundary. Example: come to the party on Monday evening. 1. Each person in the group was trained in survival. 2. About 300 soldiers were lined up. 3. Buying a new computer is a major expense.
Oh, you don't say.
4. All the people who came to the wedding were from England. 5. Try to be as tactful as you can when you talk to him. Exercise 2. Elisions. Transcription. 1 elision.
A beautiful girl. A beautiful girl. A beautiful girl.
And we seem to have a definite one there. And we seem to have a definite one there. And we seem to have a definite one there.
Could it be a stool rather than a table? Could it be a stool rather than a table? Could it be a stool rather than a table?
A fifth in. A fifth in. A fifth in.
Any peculiarities about that? Any peculiarities about that? Any peculiarities about that? And how many stripes on yours? And how many stripes on yours? And how many stripes on yours?
Well, it appears to button up. It's got 3... Well, it appears to button up. It's got 3... Well, it appears to button...
Audio Unit 15. Tones.
Exercise 1. Repetition of tones. Listen and repeat. Fall.
Yes. No. Well. For.
Rise.
Yes. No. Well. For.
Fall rise.
Yes. No. Well. For.
Rise fall.
Yes. No. Well. For.
Level.
Yes. No. Well. For.
Exercise 2. Production of tones. When you hear the number, say the syllable with the tone indicated. 1.
Them.
2.
Why.
3.
Well,
4.
John.
5.
What?
6.
No.
7.
Here.
8.
You.
9.
Now.
10.
End.
Exercise 3. Identification. You will hear each syllable twice. Write an appropriate tone symbol. 1.
1. 1.
2.
2. 2.
3.
3. 3.
4.
4. 4.
5.
5. 5.
6.
6. 6.
7.
Now. Now.
8.
You.
9.
More.
More.
10.
Us. Exercise 4. Repetition of tones on polysyllabic words. Listen and repeat. Obviously. Delightful. Magazine. Positive. Related. Disappeared. Normally. Apparently. Around. Terrible. Enormous. Disagree. Exercise 5. Audio Unit 18. Intonation. Extracts from conversation.
The following extracts are from the same recorded conversations as were used in Audio Unit 14. Each extract will be heard 3 times, with 4 or 5 seconds between repetitions. Mark the intonation. The instructions for how to do this are given in the text for Audio Unit 17, Exercise 4. In addition, for numbers 10 to 16, you will need to use the vertical line to separate tone units. Transcription.
1 tone unit.
It looks like a French magazine. It looks like a French magazine. It looks like a French magazine.
The television is plugged in. The television is plugged in. The television is plugged in.
Does your calendar have a handle? Does your calendar have a handle? Does your calendar have a handle?
A flap on it. So flap on it. So flap on it. Do tell me about yours. Do tell me about yours. You tell me about yours.
Well, dark hair. Well, dark hair. Well, dark hair.
Audio Unit 16. A tone unit.
Exercise 1. Identifying the tonic syllable. Listen and repeat, then underline the tonic syllable.
We could go by bus. Of course it's broken. The car was where I'd left it. How much is the biggest one? I knew it would go wrong. It was too cold. Here it is. That was a loud noise. We could go from Manchester. Have you finished?
Exercise 2. Pronouncing the tonic syllable. When you hear the number, say the item with the tonic syllable in the place indicated, using a falling tone. 1.
Don't do that.
2.
Don't do that.
3.
Don't do that.
4.
Write your name.
Still don't do that.
5.
Write your name.
6.
Write your name.
7.
Here's my pen.
8.
Here's my pen. Here's my pen.
10.
Why don't you try?
11.
Why don't you try?
12.
Why don't you try?
13.
Why don't you try?
Exercise 3. Repetition of tone units. Listen and repeat, trying to copy the intonation exactly. No transcription is given.
What time will they come? A day return to London. The North Pole would be warmer. Have you decided to buy it? I recorded them on cassette.
Exercise 4. Partial analysis of tone units. The items of exercise 3 will now be said again twice, and you must do the following things. A. Identify the tonic syllable and underline it. B. Identify the tone. In these items, the only tones used are fall and rise, and place the appropriate tone mark before the tonic syllable. C. Identify any stressed syllables preceding the tonic syllable, and place a stress mark before each. You may need to pause the CD to allow enough time to complete the analysis of each item.
Audio Unit 19. Further practice on connected speech.
Exercise 1. Dictation. You will hear 5 sentences spoken rapidly. Each will be given 3 times. Write each sentence down in normal spelling. 1.
I suppose the best thing's to try later. I suppose the best thing's to try later. I suppose the best thing's to try later.
2.
If he's coming today, there ought to be a letter around. If he's coming today, there ought to be a letter around. If he's coming today, there ought to be a letter around.
3.
The world's greatest lawn tennis festival begins on Monday. The world's greatest lawn tennis festival begins on Monday. The world's greatest lawn tennis festival begins on Monday.
4.
We've fixed for the repairman to come and mend it under guarantee. We've fixed for the repairman to come and mend it under guarantee. We've fixed for the repairman to come and mend it under guarantee.
5.
The number's been engaged for over an hour. The number's been engaged for over an hour. The number's been engaged for over an hour.
Exercise 2. Transcription. Now skip backwards on the CD and listen to the above sentences again. This time, transcribe what you hear, using mainly phonemic symbols, but also using raised H to indicate a weak voiceless vowel, as in potato. Do not mark intonation. Exercise 3. Reading intonation. When you hear the number, say the sentence with the intonation indicated. You will then hear the correct pronunciation, which you should repeat. 1.
I thought you were on holiday this week.
2.
Someday I'm going to get round to mending the fuse.
3.
There were a lot, not just one or two.
4.
Didn't anyone try to stop them?
5.
Leave it till after you've had some tea, otherwise you'll be too full to eat.
Too full to what? Shit.
Exercise 4. Study passage. The following passage will first be read as continuous speech, then each tone unit will be heard separately, twice. They're building wind farms all over the area where we live. We can see lines on the tops of the hills, and down by the coast there are wind turbines out at sea and along the shore. They only build them where there's plenty of wind, obviously. We certainly get a lot of that near us. You could say the landscape's been completely transformed, but most people don't seem to mind. They're building wind farms. They're building wind farms all over the area, where we live. We can see long lines of them. Along the tops of the hills. And down by the coast. There are wind turbines out at sea. And along the shore.
Djupt troende katolik och del.
4 of them came.
6.
4 of them came.
7.
4 of them came.
8.
4 of them came.
9.
Why do you do it?
10.
Why do you do it? Why do you do it?
12.
Why do you do it?
Did you tell Tyler what your art teacher said about your portrait? No. She said I have to the moment like young James was like.
Well, you said young James because Mr. He fell off in the latter half of his career. He is the Boys to Men European art history.
She recommended you since you just met her at Summer Art Intensive and that's huge.
It's fantastic.
I'm going to do a drawing called My Brother and His Favorite Cigarette. And since I'd be the youngest person ever actively to be studying it.
Tyler, would you please pass the sugar? Still has a couple of minutes left on the clock, and just a couple of seconds. Well, I suppose if the candle we were speaking of is just being slighted in any way. Have I slighted you in any way, Karoke? Well, we change the subject. What was the subject? Excuse me? The subject we were discussing, what was it? Now's not the time for your heroics, Tyler. Actually, now is the perfect time. Alright. I gotta go. Go ahead and take a look. Alright, I'll see you soon. Gandhi said that whatever you do in life will be insignificant, but it's very important that you do it. I tend to agree with the first part. Michael, you know my damn stand. By 22, Gandhi had 3 kids. Mozart, 30 symphonies. And Buddy Holly was dead. He once told me our fingerprints don't fade from the lives we touch. Is that true for everybody? things such as poetic bullshit.
Sold your girlfriend a toothbrush.
My who? What?
Your girlfriend? That voluptuous, delightfully oblivious little blonde you left in your bed yesterday? Yeah, sold her a toothbrush. I got $3.
Congratulations.
Yeah, or I wonder. Does that sound inspired Argo's business thing? The SLUT. It's a single ladies universal tote. It's a one-night stand travel pack for women. We throw in makeup, toiletries, and cell phone charger, camp numbers, retail of $19.95. Maybe we do an infomercial.
Do you think Lauren will buy this with actual money?
Okay, yeah, fine. Be cynical. But think about it. At one point in history, two people had a conversation. One like this, one like the light bulb. One went on to fame and fortune. The other, I went to work at Mickey D's or something.
In the wake of recent terrorism attacks, do you guys think there's a place for a discussion about ethics? Or would that be about the root causes of terrorism?
Wasn't a moral question when
And in the end, it's more important.
Absolutely.
Does knowledge of the past limit us or benefit?
Non-smoking statue. Tyler, can we make this a non-smoking statue? You promised you could. So, you can love someone and not want to spend time with them. Mom loved Aunt Sarah, but after Christmas last year, she wouldn't let Les leave them in a room together because she said that there'd be a Yuletide homicide.
It's because Aunt Sarah drinks. You don't drink, do you?
I'm 11.
So why would anyone ever want to avoid it? It's because my uncle was 21. When you're 21, drinking is new and exciting. Everybody does it. Aunt Sarah drinks because she wishes it.
You're 21.
Yes. Getting coffee?
I'm getting rid of the sodomized with toothbrush.
It's your day, man.
Schematic for these particular shots is looks like together and ended up dead on the first shot.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
See, that's what chicks people, man. Seriously, you're right. Oh, we're into Megan. She's bartending at Don Hilton. I want just stop by. Right with Meg. Hey, nothing, man. What? Like, look, when it goes past my week, right? You don't want to go out anymore. I'm not this brooding introvert shit, okay? I'm ready to set an intervention here.
You do realize that our interventions typically don't involve binge drinking.
One drink. Okay, no, just one.
When's the last time you had one drink?
Come here. Megan! Hey! Wow! You look great!
Do not speak.
Okay? Your beers? Is she mad at me or something?
Not mad, that's what people like when they're really into you.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Oh, city in the world. All right? I love this street. I love this street. Where are you guys from? Miami. Miami. That's right. You didn't listen. Miami. Yeah, that's a big setup there. No, this is the greatest city. I don't know, like Barcelona, Rio. We got nothing on this town.
What are we doing? We're visiting Hotel Bar.
Yeah. Should we want to come?
We were just trying to stop it.
Leo, cut those two loose. Early. Anything in here gonna stab me? Nope.
Very, very lucky my partner isn't a detainer.
How about you two? Listen, Osman. That scumbag kicked my car! Shut up, please. Shit, all right, that's it. Everybody's gone. Hey, these two didn't do anything. It was everything with these assholes. Hey, what are you still doing here? This bullshit, these two guys are just walking across the street. Well, Mr. Hawkins, what you think I give a shit? You're a cop. You're supposed to give a shit. You hear that, Leo? It's a great relief to me, Mr. Hawkins, to know that you're on top of the situation. Now, go home. Hey, why don't you... Have your call now. No, I'm good. I'm good. You're good. Okay, now thank God you're good. See, I wouldn't want you to get upset about anything, right? Being in jail, I wouldn't want you to worry about that.
The Germans did not arrive in Essex, but the British Army did. Training camps were established in villages and towns across Britain to accommodate new recruits, and communities were turned upside down.
That night, the Montgomery Yeomanry arrived. 500 horses picketed on the common. Most interesting to watch.
Past a squad of men standing at the roadside, with a sergeant questioning them about the countryside. It seems hard to realise it's not play, but the grim business of war.
19-year-old Emily Chittix worked as a servant in Essex, not far from Andrews Parish. The arrival of troops at a nearby camp had changed her life. She'd fallen in love. Will Martin was a 19-year-old farm worker. He'd enlisted in the first months of war and left behind a quiet life in Cornwall. Now he was making the most of his first trip away from home.
Oh, you restless boy. Coming out of camp when you ought not to. I'm afraid I shall have to severely reprimand you when you come home again. Sometimes it seems too good to be true that one day I shall have a home of my own. And a dear good man like you to love and be loved by. I often wonder, dear, what the future really holds for us. I wonder where we shall live and all sorts of different things, don't you, dear? I think it's wonderful how we came together, dear. The more I think of it, the more wonderful it seems.
I don't see any reason why we should not be happy together, dear. For as long as we've known each other, we've always agreed together. You are already mapping out the future in your imagination. And I must own that my thoughts have corresponded with yours on more than one occasion.
A world away from rural Essex was 23-year-old Helen Bentwich. Born into a wealthy banking family, Helen grew up in London's high society. She was frustrated by the fact that, as a rich woman, she hadn't yet shared in the excitement of the war.
My brother Ellis has been up to London today for his first drill. He's joined the old public school boys force and is going into camp next week. Now he's going, it makes me wilder than ever at being a girl. I'm just existing as a useless female at present. There's nothing definite for us women to do.
In the heart of London, businesswoman Hallie Miles was more excited by the change she sensed around her.
It is like an altogether new London. The whole condition of things is so strange to us all. For to have London in a state of war is not within the memory of the present generation. And yet, awful as it is very thrilling.
Hallie and her husband Eustace ran a vegetarian restaurant in the West End, the very latest food fashion. At the time when women were not allowed to vote, and respectable married women supposedly belonged in the home, Hallie was a pioneer. In early 1915, food prices began to rise, putting her business in jeopardy. She was determined to overcome it.
I am very busy over many things. My cookery book, Economy in Wartime, is to be published as soon as ever I have finished it. It is exactly the right time for it to come out, for the price of meat is becoming so awful that many of the butcher shops are closing. I am trying to start a campaign for demonstrations in meatless cookery. Today we are making mock game soup, and I promise you, it's even more delicious than the real thing.
In their different ways, Britons were adapting to being at war. But now their worst fears were realized. War was coming to them. Germany had a terrifying new weapon, the Zeppelin airship.
Everyone says the Zeppelins will invade England. One of the German war cartoons is of an army of Zeppelins over Trafalgar Square, throwing bombs down. It couldn't be much closer to us. It makes one's heart stand still to think of all that may be going to happen to our beloved England.
Zeppelins unleashed the first ever air raid on Britain in January 1915. The bombing of London began in May.
About 9:45, an airship passed over Great Leeds. The buzz of it was distinctly heard at the rectory. Just after it had passed, there was a tremendous bang, loud as thunder. It shook all the windows in the house and caused a bath, leaning against a wall, to clatter down to the floor. The Zeppelins passed on toward London and are reported to have done much damage at Stratford, Leighton, Ilford and Blackheath.
In her townhouse in West London, Helen learnt of the air raids on the other side of the city.
Father has brought in news of the Zeppelins. It's not allowed in the papers. Many bombs were dropped all round Whitechapel and Shoreditch. London's taking it all as a matter of course. We are a funny people. But I'm jolly glad I'm English all the same. We'll muddle through this war somehow and come out grinning on top.
In 1915, 37 tons of bombs were dropped all over Britain, killing 181, injuring 500 more.
It set the place on fire. There is an awful lot of damage done. Some streets, not a single window left in.
The house in which we were in had all its windows blown in. 2 rooms had a hole in the roof. After the raid, there was only 1 room we could sleep in.
When the firemen entered one of the houses that had been destroyed by an awful bomb, they found a husband and wife with all their clothes burnt off them, kneeling in prayer at their bedside. The husband's arm was still round his wife's waist. I sometimes wonder if Eustace and I shall be found like that. It all seems coming so near us.
Summer 1915. The war had lasted longer than Britons had imagined, and still there was no end in sight. The conflict had escalated. Britain was now fighting in the Middle East and Africa, as well as in France and Belgium. A colossal effort was needed to keep the war going, and change was being forced on Edwardian Britain. 23-year-old Helen Bentwich was about to experience that change herself. As a rich married woman, she would never ordinarily have dreamt of going to work. On her first wedding anniversary, she wrote to her husband Norman, serving in Egypt, to tell him she'd got a job.
My darlingest boy, it's very rotten not being able to have a kiss on my wedding day. I think still there's a war on, and we've both enlisted in it. I've been taken on as principal overlooker at Woolwich Arsenal with the princely wages of £4 10 shillings a week, working from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for 6 days, and then from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. for 7 days, and starting next Monday. There, doesn't that take your breath away? It does mine. You don't mind my getting a job like this, do you?
To keep the guns firing at the front, a new government ministry took control of the munitions industry in 1915 and opened the doors to women workers. Working class women had long done unskilled factory work, but now they were asked to take on highly technical, vital war production. And upper class women were called to try it too.
What's your definition of patriotism? Mine is turning out of a comfy bed at 5 a.m. and wandering off through the pitch-dark anti-Zeppelin streets to one's work. That's what I do now. Oh, I'm absurdly excited to see what it's all going to be like. I couldn't sleep last night for excitement, and for fear I'd not be able to do it.
The Woolwich Arsenal was a giant industrial complex. 1,300 acres of factories and workshops, where 80,000 workers made the weapons of modern war.
Coming into here at 7 is like going into a huge fair. Crowds and crowds of men and women, chiefly women, pouring into day work and out for night work. Strings of motor lorries with soldiers on them, trains careering madly and imprudently wherever they choose all over the place. Plenty of chaff and cheap banter. But I suppose it's all inevitable.
By the end of 1915, almost 2.5 million Britons had volunteered to fight. But recruitment was falling as losses at the front soared. Unlike Germany, Britain had no tradition of compulsory military service. But that was about to change. And the impact would be keenly felt in small communities, like Great Lees.
There's been a great turn-up in the village yesterday and today. Some of the farmers had noticed to send all their men to be medically inspected for service. They came to Mr. Caldwell. He advised them to go. This is not voluntary recruiting, but compulsion in dishonest form. It is now quite certain that compulsory military service will be adopted.
In January 1916, conscription was introduced in Britain. Every unmarried man aged 18 to 41 could now be called for service. Those who refused faced imprisonment. Britons were being subjected to ever greater demands. And yet, life went on. Will had moved to a training camp in Norfolk, further from Emily, but their romance was blossoming.
My darling Will, how can I thank you enough, my dear little ring? Oh, I'm so delighted with it, dear. I only wish that you were here to put it on for me. Fits nicely, dear. Looks ever so neat and nice on my finger. I don't care who knows that I love you, dear. I feel a very happy and proud girl because you love me. I say, dear, when you get a chance, you might write to Dad, will you? Oh, I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. And you might mention our engagement, dear.
I am so glad that I met you, dear. I couldn't possibly do without you now, dear. I will write to your father, dear, as soon as I can. I thought about it last week, but I hope you forgive me, dear, when I say I couldn't summon up the courage.
Oh, my dear Will, I do wish that I was with you. I do so long for my dear boy to come back. But never mind, darling. It's not so very long now to wait until Christmas. What joy to meet each other then. I shall jump out of my boots nearly with delight.
The war at home was intensifying. Air raids were now a regular occurrence. Anti-aircraft guns, searchlights and fighter planes were deployed to defend the nation, but the bombing persisted.
Believe all the solemn and dreadful happenings. There have been several air raids in different parts of England, quite near London. We have twice been warned to leave our flat for the basement. Once was when we were fast asleep, so I woke poor Eustace, who had at first absolutely refused to get up. He was very naughty indeed, and only kept on saying, "Hang the Zeps," and worse than that. But as the sounds of the guns drew nearer, Eustace donned his alarm trousers and joined me in the hall of the flat. And then we sat drearily, waiting for the great Hyde Park gun, our nearest, to fire.
At 11 p.m., just as my wife had come up, there were two tremendous explosions just to the north, which shook the house and caused her to call out involuntary, "Oh, oh!" The second call woke me, and I got up to find the dog roused and barking. At 11:10 p.m., I was dressed and gowned and out. It was a starlit night, slightly foggy. By this time, the Zeppelin was roaring like a railway somewhere nearby, apparently somewhere over the rectory stables. I tried every way to locate it against the stars, but did not succeed. Then the noise began to be louder and louder as the machine began to move from over the stable yardway Just as the clock struck 12 midnight, sound was heard of one Zeppelin coming back. It was now distinctly seen, a long black thing against the stars.
A woman in the street screamed, "Oh my God, there it is, passing over our street." Oh, it was awful.
We were scared.
we just stood in the kitchen not daring to breathe and heard the whirring noise go right over our heads.
Despite the raids, life had to go on. Emily was making plans.
By the way, dear, I suppose you're still thinking of going to Cornwall for Christmas? Don't you think, dear, it would be wise if you were to write, try to make some arrangements with your aunt very soon, and not leave it till the last? Have you heard from her lately? What does she think of you having a young lady, dear? I only hope, dear, she will approve of me for your sake. Oh, I should love to come and see her with you at Christmas. I do hope nothing will stand in our way. Although, dear, as long as I can be where you are, I shall be happy wherever it is.
Of course, dear, I intend to take you to Cornwall when I go. I don't think you're presumptuous. You are a foreseeing little girl, and how could my aunt help liking you? There is nothing high class to expect, dear. They are simply plain country people like ourselves. There will be nothing to stand in our way, darling. By the way, dear, they asked for volunteers to go to Devonport to train with the 3rd Devons as infantry, and of course to go across eventually. I have volunteered for it. I hung back until nearly last, dear. I am sure you are worrying yourself, but there is no need for it. I am disappointed about having to come so far away from my little girl. But I didn't have the heart to stay behind, and all my chums volunteered. All my schoolmates, dear. But, dear, wherever I go, I shall always stay the same. From your loving sweetheart, Will. 2nd of December 1916, Chittix, Heronsport, Brentwood. Leaving Devonport tomorrow on draft. Will. We left Devonport at 9:30 this morning, and we don't know where we are going. It was a bit hurried, dear. I am disappointed too, for I so hoped to have taken you to Cornwall at Christmas. I will conclude with fondest love from your loving sweetheart, Will.
Christmas 1916 was Britain's 3rd Christmas at war. Few had dreamt the conflict would last so long, or that it would change their lives so profoundly. Andrew Clark was coping with the devastation in his village. 9 young men had already been killed.
Monday, 25th of December. Cold, dreary day. Snow is rushing into water. Naturally, there was the smallest Christmas morning congregation I've ever had here. So many of our lads have been killed, and very often the parents die of broken hearts. In one family of farmers whom we liked very much, the sons have been killed. The mother died a week after, and the father 12 hours after her, leaving some daughters all alone.
4 days is a wee bit of a holiday, really, isn't it? And to go back to work again with nothing to look forward to but months of work, day and night. Oh, Lord, what a world. This morning, everything was white with snow and had a proper Christmas look. But it's been thawing all day. I smoked too many cigarettes. I couldn't eat any tea, which was sad because there was a new cake, a great thing these days. Wednesday, I go back to the old grind again. Oh, damn.
My dearest Emily, it has been a rather strange Christmas for us, dear. But still, I think all the boys are happy. There was a small bit of pudding for dinner, And also some beer and rum. I didn't have any of the latter two. I could just fancy you today, sweetheart. Wondering what I'm up to, what sort of time I'm having. Well, sweetheart, I hope you've had a good Christmas. I dare say you had a busy time. We're having a concert here tonight in the church army hut. We've got no piano, but we are making the best we can out of it. Things are very quiet, but the roads are very rough and there's plenty of mud and water. What looks familiar out here is the London motor buses conveying troops from place to place.
My dearest Will, I've had some unpleasant dreams, dear, about you. One in particular, dear. I dreamt, dear, that you were home with me, but you'd ceased to love me and treated me as cold as ice. I don't know why I dream such silly things. I wish I didn't, because I know you do love me.
January 1917. Will was just behind the Somme battlefields, the scene of terrible bloodshed a few months earlier. Now the men endured the winter and waited for the fighting to begin again.
I've been doing some trench digging lately. Quite a change from drill. And we are still training. We're not trained yet. I expect we shall be someday.
The workers at home would share the burden of a fourth year of war. Helen wrote to her husband of her growing anger at working conditions in the factory.
My dearest boy, I am again in bed after finishing off my week's night work. Sometimes, when I see some of the poor devils there and listen to their talk and realize all they have to put up with, I wonder if I'll ever have the face to grumble at anything again. I've been thinking lately, I don't know how I'll get on when the war's over and I've got to stop working hard. I feel that it will always haunt me, all through my life. The misery of those who slave day and night so that others may be wealthy.
In the workshop, everything is done with such monotony and regularity that nothing human can come into it.
It has completely spoiled my hands. They are hard and rough now, but it's some satisfaction to know I'm helping to blow the blight off Europe.
The ether in the cordite affects the girls. It gives some headaches, hysteria, even fits. We sometimes have 30 girls overcome in one way or another.
Helen took a bold step. The society girl joined a trade union. It was risky. Union activity was tightly controlled in wartime.
I composed a long letter to my union secretary this morning. I've got my union badge, a shield, and to fight, to struggle, to right the wrong. I think it's perfectly topping to have and makes me simply wild to fight. You don't mind if I get mixed up in rows and things about the munitions workers, do you? It's all in a good cause. And I've got better opportunities than anybody else. They can't shoot me. And if I do go to prison, well, it's all experience.
More and more was being asked of Britons at home. In early 1917, German submarines were targeting ships bringing food to Britain, an attempt to starve her into surrender. To control the threat, the government introduced regulations on food consumption. The number of courses people could eat in public was limited. Feeding pigeons was forbidden. And most significantly for ordinary Britons, voluntary rationing was introduced.
The food laws seem fairly wise, but they will tackle the wrong end. It's the restaurants, extravagant venues and theatres that ought to be banned. And then there'd be not so much need for these restrictions. If you were here and took a walk down Regent Street or Oxford Street and looked in the shop windows, you'd say all you read in the papers about shortages of food was lies. But it isn't for the poor people.
Restrictions on food could have spelled disaster for Hallie's business. Against all odds, she survived by turning them to her advantage.
Now that the food controller has limited people in their meals, especially in meat, the EM restaurant is absolutely packed for lunches. My little cookery book is selling well. It is just going to have a 3rd edition. To show how keen people are on the meatless food question, I wrote a letter to the papers offering to send a small leaflet with meatless recipes to anyone who sent me a stamped addressed envelope. In response to this, I received over 3,000 letters. Brown bread's pudding, economical. Soak stale brown bread crusts for 20 minutes in water and drain through a wire sieve, and you will have the most delicious pudding.
The Somme, northern France. Will has had his first taste of the front lines. As winter ended, the British Army was preparing for a massive offensive in spring 1917.
You need not worry the slightest bit, dear, on my account. For up to the present time, dear, I've got on all right, and I'm still quite well. You were right in your guess, dear. And I have seen a bit of life since that letter reached you, dear.
I've just received another letter from you, dear. I can't quite understand your meaning, dear, in one sentence. It's where you said I had guessed quite right, and you had seen some life since I had that letter. Do you mean, Will, you've been fighting? Don't keep it from me, dear. If you've been in the trenches, tell me. I would rather know. I can't think what else you mean, darling. I can't stay to write more in haste. Love from Emily.
I dare say, sweetheart, you have been wondering why I have not written. But I dare say you will understand why I have not written. And I dare say there will be more occasions, dear, when I shall not be able to write for a few days.
Throw Will Martin deeper into war. In Great Lees, recruitment and conscription into the army had taken their toll, taking men from their homes and families, and of course their ordinary jobs. Andrew Clark watched the old order of the village disintegrate around him.
Major James Caldwell called. Agricultural labourers assure Mr. Caldwell that few of the young men who've been taken off the land will come back to work on the land again. They are certain, they say, that their sons will not. Since my man was called up, I've had to do all the outdoor work. In these months, I have smoked, in each week, more cigarettes than I used to do in any whole year before the war.
In Great Lees alone, 19 men never came home.
Pack up your trunks with your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile.
In industrial London, Helen saw lives broken by the war machine.
Pack up your troubles. That's one the boys sing on the night shifts, and very useful it is at times. I like my job, mostly, so don't think I'm not happy because some of the things I'm going to tell you. The factory was simply fogged up with bad air. One old cobbler collapsed by his machine and they carried him out. 3 or 4 girls fainted. And then at 5 in the morning, we heard that some poor devil just couldn't stand it any longer. He ran outside with one of his tools and trying it first on his hand and arm to see if it was sharp enough. He then cut his throat for 5 inches. And when he was found, he was still alive. The horrid callousness of it all. Worst of all, to be told that that was nothing very new, and that there are many cases of suicide each week. It's all so terrible and unnecessary, and nobody cares about the individual. It's just a vast, crushing war machine.
My dearest Emily, just a few lines, dear, to let you know that I am still in the land of the living and keeping well. Trusting you are the same, dear. We are not in the same place, dear. In fact, we don't stay in the same place very long. We are having very nice weather at present, dear. I hope it will continue.
I wonder what you're doing now. Oh, my dear boy, I do pray that you will be spared. If I lost you... Well, dear, I don't know what I should do. I do want to see you again so badly. But I must try and be patient. Oh, Will, it is very hard to be cheerful, and I'm always thinking of you, wondering if you're all right.
Spring 1917. After almost a year's work at the arsenal, Helen wrote to her husband with surprising news.
My darlingest boy, I've disgraced you hopelessly and enormously, and you'll have to be jolly well ashamed of me. I've got the sack. Sad but true. Me, what I'm used to giving select dinners to judges and titled ladies. Me, what I'm the wife of a captain and brilliant lawyer, has been kicked out of the factory for disobeying rule number 79, which states that a full day's work shall be done for a full day's pay. I have been guilty of talking to the girls about trade unions and receiving payments from them, of course. Aren't I a ghastly failure? Well, there's an end to the arsenal.
Rumours of the planned offensive in France had reached Britons at home. Emily was awaiting news from Will.
My dearest Will, I feel I must write to you again, dear, although there is not much news to tell you. I wonder how you're getting on. I shall be relieved to get a letter from you. I can't help feeling a bit anxious, dear. Of course, I know, dear, you will write as soon as ever you can. The time seems so dull and weary without any news of you. If only this war was over, dear, and we were together again. It will be one day, I suppose.
We are having decent weather for the time being, so that makes it a bit more pleasant. I see that you have been rather busy gardening lately. It is over change of work, I should imagine. Well, dear, news is scarce as usual, so I scarcely know what to write. Well, sweetheart, I must now conclude. Give my love to mother and father. Fondest love and kisses from your loving sweetheart, Will.
The Allies planned to break the stalemate on the Western Front and finally end the war. But their plans were thrown into chaos. The German army pulled back, and British troops, including Will, were forced into pursuit.
Cheer up, darling. And don't worry about me, I'm quite all right. Only anxious to get your letters. How the time flies. I was just thinking the other day, it's now over 4 months since you went away. It's the longest parting we've had since we met, dear. I'm all alone now, so when I've finished your letter, dear, I am off home. Don't I wish that you were here now? Fondest love and lots of kisses from your loving sweetheart, Emily.
In the battle that followed at Arras, the loss of life was huge. Some ground was gained, but the war had not been won.
Don't think, dear, I am worrying unnecessarily about you, because I know God can take care of you wherever you are. And if it's his will, darling, he will spare you to come back to me. On several occasions, I've dreamed that you were back home with me, dear. And the most strange thing about them, you're always in civilian clothes when I dream of you. And I've never seen you in those, dear, so it seems very strange. Well, darling, I don't know much more to say now, so we'll close with fondest love and kisses from your loving little girl, Emily.
Dear Miss Chittix, I regret deeply to have to inform you that Private W.J. Martin was killed on the afternoon of Tuesday, March 27th, while in the performance of his duty in the front line. He was hit in the head by a sniper's bullet and never recovered consciousness before he died. I'm returning to you 1 or 2 small things which I found in his pocket, which you might care to keep in memory of him.
Is a sight that's practically photographed on my brain.
How horrible this is, that I see nothing but ghosts.
I collapsed with the misery of you in the battle.
We have at last realized that woman is an animal with 2 legs. And we have a vote, too.
The whole outlook is new. The whole world seems new since the war.
Den delen som är den sista i raden ser den som vill nästa fredag samma tid. Och stannar man kvar en stund med oss här i Kunskapskanalen den här kvällen kan man strax se Stephen Fry utsätta britterna för moraliska dilemman med hjälp av dolda kameror. Och direkt efter ta del av hemligheter Stockholm bär på. Bland annat ett till synes oskyldigt industriområde. Om 45 minuter är det dags.
Hätte ich unaussprechliches angestellt. Der Papst und halb Europa hat sich gegen mich verschworen.
Mein Verbrechen war, dass ich die Dinge beim Namen nannte. Und dann kam der Krieg und zerstörte all meine Träume.
I Kunskapskanalen.
low, loud, law.
Dark L before pause. Listen and repeat.